Good morning or good afternoon or whenever you're taking this class. I hope you are well. We are going to start from seated today. So come down onto your mat and find a nice comfortable seated position where you can relax. Ground into your sit bones. You don't have to sit cross-legged like me. You can sit with your legs out or legs straight if that's comfortable for you. Rolling the shoulders back, bringing the shoulder blades together like you're trying to squeeze them together. Lengthen the neck, soften the gaze or close your eyes. And begin noticing the breath, working toward equal ratio breath, same amount of time that we're inhaling as we're exhaling. Getting that full deep breath, bringing it all the way down to the lower belly. We'll stay like this for a moment. Letting the stress of the day kind of wash away any responsibilities that we may have. We're not thinking about those. We're not thinking about what's happening in the future. We're not thinking about stuff that's happened in the past. We're trying to root ourselves firmly in the present. Noticing any areas that are tight or painful today. Maybe taking a hand to that area if it's your neck or your shoulder. Working out some tension with your fingers if you like. This can be a helpful way to release tension. I'm a big fan of self-massage. Or just rubbing to warm that area, getting that area ready for exercise. We'll do a lot of warming in our class, but it's sometimes helpful to do. And then finding stillness again, a couple more breaths. Start some movement in the shoulders. Open things up and begin to warm. We're going to talk today about being a little bit more playful and exploring our range of motion, exploring what we may not have thought was the possibility of what we could do. So pushing those limits a little bit, not working toward something that would injure us, but just seeing what possibilities there are. So finding the limits of your range of motion in the shoulders to start. Let's open up the side body, place one hand down on the mat, reach the other hand up toward the ceiling. One more breath here. Open up, breathe into the side body. And exhale that hand down, other side. Really reach. And exhale that hand down. Let's bring our hands to the mat in front of us. And let's just work on turning the hands over, palm up, and then palm down. Let's go through this a couple times, moving at the pace that you need, just to warm up the wrists. Very important to warm up the wrists before we put some pressure on them in our poses. Nice. All right, let's take those hands and walk them behind us. Palms or fingers are going to point toward the front. And let's just open our chest a little bit, rolling the neck back slightly, not creating a lot of wrinkles on the back of the neck. Just looking more up toward the ceiling, letting the chest open, and then walking our way up, bringing the hands to the front instead, staying grounded into the sit bones as we move those hands forward. Crown of the head comes forward, back is fairly neutral, not hunching forward too much. A little round to the back. Good. Let's walk those hands back up. And then if there's any other motion that we need to do, maybe a little twisting motion. Again, we're talking about exploring today and playing and seeing where our flexibility is, seeing where our strength is, but also just trying new things. Make it okay to disobey a little bit and not do exactly what I'm doing. All right, let's come to hands and knees. Knees directly underneath the hip points, wrists directly underneath the shoulders. Let's move side to side. Maybe hold on one side for a moment. All right, and then back to center. Let's take one leg out long, pressing down with the toes and pressing back through the heel, opening up that calf muscle, feeling that really nice stretch into the foot as well, keeping the neck neutral. Let's go to the other side, pressing back through the heel. Hips are still aligned. And then down, very nice. Let's do the same or similar with the hands. Let's bring the forearms down into the mat for puppy stretch. Forehead can come down to the mat, or we can lift off a little bit, just as long as it's not uncomfortable for the neck. But the hips stay high. We're pressing back through the hips, through the tailbone for this stretch. And then maybe a gentle pulse here if you want to. So pulsing backward a little bit, not bouncing, but just pressing back and coming forward. Back, feeling that through the shoulders and forward. One more time, back and forward. Let's come back to our tabletop, and we're going to work spinal balance from here. So lifting the left hand, reaching out, and then pressing out with the right heel, trying to create that long line. Holding here for a moment, staying nice and stable. And then exhale, hand and leg down. Other side, right hand, left leg, press out through that heel, point with that finger, and exhale down. Other side, we'll repeat one more time. And down. Final side. And down. Very nice. If you need any more into the wrists here, you can put a little bit more pressure on the wrist from this position. My wrists get very tight from typing on the computer most of the day, so this is good for me. All right, and coming back to our tabletop. From here, we're going to come to child's pose. So widen the knees if we need to. Sit back. Head comes down. Arms in front or to the side. Or we can stack the fists under our forehead if we need to. Bring the mat up a little bit. Or use a block. Big inhale and exhale here. Relax.
breathing into the upper back body. Feel that expanding breath into that area, and then collapsing as we exhale, sinking a little lower toward the mat. All right, we're going to work our half series from here. So let's come up to a kneeling plank. You can bring the knees back a little bit. Top of a push-up here with our knees down. Let's hug our elbows in and come forward and down. Forehead to the mat. And then we'll press up and flow, coming all the way back to child's pose. Exhale. Inhale, lift, kneeling plank, and down. Up and back. I'm going to move to the more energetic version of this if you need that. If you don't, then stay exactly where you are with those few movements. If you want the more energetic version, curl the toes under, lift up and back through plank, downward facing dog. Exhale. On an inhale, coming to full plank, hugging the elbows in as we come down with control. Exhale. Press up and back, down dog. 2 more times. Inhale, forward and down. Inhale, lift, and come back. 1 more time, we got this. Exhale. And back. Let's all meet in downward facing dog. Can move side to side here a little bit if you want to. Still opening up that side body. Take a couple breaths here. Option to do Wild Thing pose. So we've done this one before, but if you need a refresher, taking that right leg, bringing it off the mat to the left. Taking the right foot, I should say. So the heel is up, and then peeling off that right hand from the mat, opening up the chest. Reaching up toward the top of the mat with that hand, and then bring it down. Downward facing dog. Exhale. If you need a rest here, put your knees down into puppy. All right, on an inhale, coming to Wild Thing pose on the other side. Left foot crosses over off the right side of the mat, opening up the left hand, reaching up. Open the chest, breathe, smile. Exhale. Bring the hand and the foot down, downward facing dog. All right, let's walk the feet to the hands. Forward fold. Bend the knees a lot here. Relaxing the upper body over the lower body. Breathe. Let's come up halfway. Inhale. Lengthen. Exhale. Come all the way down, forward fold. If you want to work your ragdoll fold here, cross your arms, create more weight. Make sure you're pressing evenly into the corners of the foot. Let's release the arms, bend the knees, arms out to sides. Inhale, lift all the way up, hinging at the hips. Reach. Hands come down to heart. Exhale. Nice work. All right, let's release the hands. Let's do a little bit of a twist before we move on. Arms in front, crossed. Staying rooted with the feet. Nice. If you need any more hip opening, we can take the hands to the hips
and move in a circle. Again, feet stay planted. Maybe go the other direction. All right, then releasing the hands. If you need more shoulder opening, let's do some arm swings out to the sides. Keep it gentle. All right, and then release. And then let's finish with some washing. Inhale, lift with the hands, reach toward the ceiling. Exhale, palms down, breathe out as we come down. Inhale, lift out to sides. Exhale, press down. One more time this way. And then reverse. Lift the hands up our center line. Press out to sides. Exhale. Very good cleansing motions, washing energy through the body. That's what our energy flow practice is all about. All right, let's release. We're going to start our sun salutations. So let's start at the front of the mat. Feet directly underneath the shoulders. Bend the knees very slightly. Open the chest. Hands palm toward the front. Relax the shoulders. One more good breath and then we'll move. All right, here we go. Inhale, lift, extended mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Bend those knees, hands to the mat. Step the right foot back for lunge. Heel is up. Feel that long stretch. Exhale as we bring the other foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank or kneeling plank. Bring those hips up just a little bit. Hug the elbows in, shoulders over fingertips. Exhale down for chaturanga. Using back strength to lift for cobra. You should be able to lift your hands off. In fact, if you want to do that every time, you may. Exhale down. Inhale, lift up and back, down dog. Exhale. Right leg lifts, three-legged dog. Send that foot all the way through, forward, helping it up if necessary. Press through that back heel on the left side before we move. Feet together, forward fold. Exhale. Bend the knees, arms out to sides. Reach. Sit back, exhale. Chair pose. Hug those knees in. One deep breath here. Then we'll go again. Here we go. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward fold. Hands to the mat. Step the left foot back this time. And the right foot. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Inhale, plank. Exhale all the way down with control. Coming to the mat. Lift. Lift our hands off if we like here for cobra. And down. Downward facing dog. Three-legged dog, left side. Shift through. Lunge. Feet together, forward fold. Rise up and reach, extended mountain. And chair pose, hold strong. All right, let's go. Inhale, reach. Exhale, forward fold. Left foot back.
And right foot down dog. Plank. And down. Exhale. Cobra. And down. Downward facing dog. Lift the left leg. Lunge that one through. Forward fold. Bend the knees, arms up, and chair pose. And here we go again. Inhale, reach, and fold. Right foot back, left foot back, down dog. Plank, and down with control. Cobra. Down. Downward facing dog. Right leg lifts. Lunge. Forward fold. Rise up slowly. Reach. And chair pose. And again, inhale, reach. Forward fold. Left foot back. Right foot back, down dog. Plank. All the way down, exhale. Cobra. And down. Peel up slowly, downward facing dog, exhale. Left leg lifts. Step through. Lunge. Forward fold. Extended mountain. Reach. And chair pose. All right, we've got one more. Stick with me here. Inhale, reach. Forward fold. Right foot back. Left foot back, down dog. Plank. And down. Cobra. And down. Downward facing dog. Right leg lifts. Lunge. Forward fold. Rise up, reach. And chair. And release. Take a breather. Nice work. All right, we're going to try to cool it down a little bit here with some standing poses. Let's start feet together at the front of the mat. We're going to come to Warrior Two. Stepping back with the right foot, opening the hips to the long edge of the mat. Arms in front and behind, palm down, settle the shoulders. Make sure that front knee is bent over the ankle.
If you can't see your big toe, open out to the outside, to the left a little bit more. Back leg fairly straight, pressing through both feet, especially the corner or the edge of that back foot. Slow the breath. Get some control. We're going to flow this motion. So let's drop our backhand, lift the front hand, side bend, reverse warrior. Using core strength, we're going to come all the way forward. So usually we go from here back to warrior two. We're going to come forward to side angle, making sure that we're not bumping the hips out off the mat. So let's keep the hips where they were when we were standing. Reach with that top hand. Hug the belly button in. Tighten the core as we lift back up. Reach with the left hand toward the ceiling. Reverse warrior. On an exhale, come forward. Tip all the way through, keeping the lower leg, that's keeping the lower body really stable for side angle. One more time through. Inhale, lift, reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle. All right, from here, let's drop our hands to the mat, framing that front foot for a runner's lunge. Keeping that back knee up off the mat, or if we need to, placing it down. Extending through the crown of the head, let's not hunch forward. Good stretch. Let's take that left foot back. We're going to shift back to downward facing dog. Exhale. Moving the tail side to side if we need to. One more good breath here. Like I said at the beginning of class, we can play with this a little bit. Introduce some movement into your poses. As long as you're feeling safe and that you have good alignment. All right, let's take that right leg forward. Runner's lunge. Extend the knee over the ankle, pressing back through that heel. Option here for a twist, so if you want to, keep your left hand down on the mat, right hand opens up toward the ceiling for the twist. And release the hands down. We're going to switch the legs one more time. So pressing back, pushing back with that right foot, shift back to downward facing dog. Again, move the tail if you need to a little bit. Let's bring the left foot forward this time. Runner's lunge on this side. Option for twist. Right hand on the mat, left hand lifts. Release that hand down. Let's come back to downward facing dog. Exhale. Left leg up, right leg up this time. So that right foot's forward. We're going to work our way up our leg, come to standing, plant that back heel, open up to warrior two, right foot forward. Settle the shoulders again. We'll stay static before we start our flow. One more breath. All right, then here we go, slowly. Dropping that back hand, lifting the right hand toward the ceiling, side bend, reverse warrior. Coming through to the front.
side angle, lift that left arm, stacking the shoulders, hips stay where they are. Inhale, lift back. Exhale, coming forward. One more time. Inhale, lift back. Good integrity in the core. And forward. Let's drop the hands to the mat one more time. Step back with the right foot, come into plank. Last part of this section, we're going to do our plank challenge. So bring your knees down if you need to, or if you have other ways that you want to challenge yourself here, coming down to the forearms is another good way. We're going to work for 45 seconds. So let's hold here. Bring the hips up just a little bit more. If you're feeling them sink, puff up the upper back. 20 seconds. Five, four, three, two, one, and down to the mat. Exhale. Maybe bring your arms in front of you and lie down with your head on your arms if you need to, or any other comfortable position. All right, before we get up, let's work some more stretching here. So let's stretch through our toes and our fingers in front of us, reach. And then pressing with the heels, so you can curl the toes under here, press back with the heels. You need to bring your arms out to your sides. You can do that if it's a little stressful in the shoulders. And then we'll place the hands under the shoulders, lift up, coming back to our tabletop, and then we'll stand. All right, let's shake it out a little bit. All right, we're going to have some fun with our first energy exercise, which is leg swings. So being really rooted in the left foot, getting light on the right foot, we're going to swing it forward and swing it back. If we need to, if we are not super confident in our balance today, which we all have those days, then we may want to place our foot down and check in with our balance here instead of hovering it. If we are feeling more confident, we can hover that foot, bring it forward and back. You can always use a wall if you need to steady yourself. We're swinging the leg back and forth. Working with our breath still here. If you want to add the arms in here, you may. So bringing the left arm forward as the right leg comes forward, that right foot, and then the right arm comes back. So it's opposite arm, opposite leg. As they come back, the right hand comes forward. Again, trying to make this a smooth motion. Bending that root knee so we can be really well supported. Not be hanging on bone structure. And then maybe go a little faster if we want to. Nice work. Let's go to the other side. Lifting the left leg. Moving back and forth, finding what you want to out of this exercise. Maybe we want to play with it a little bit more, go faster. Maybe we want just that slow movement. We want to feel a stretch, or we need a wall.
but it's whatever we want to do. Still noticing the breath through this process. All right, let's release. We're going to come to tree pose next. Let's come feet close together, setting the shoulders back as usual, opening the chest, and then lifting the heel on one foot, placing on the side of the calf or above the knee. Using our hand to gently press open our knee if we want to, and then bringing the hands up once our legs are set. Maybe prayer pose above the head, or moving our branches around. This is something that's a little bit more challenging with the balance. Feeling the wind blowing through our branches and our leaves. As before, bending that root knee, tightening into the core. Very important concepts. All right, let's release and go to the other side. Again, finding your balance first, finding your posture, rooting yourself into the mat before we move. Or before we set the hands. And release that foot down. Nice work. All right, the last one we're going to do is called Palm Tree in a Hurricane. We're going to bring the feet a little wider than shoulder width apart and work with your range of motion here. If you have some restrictions in your shoulders, you may not want to come all the way up, but we are going to be circling with the hands. So bend the knees slightly, and we're going to circle the hands one direction. And we're going to start very slowly at first, like the storm is just beginning. And then move a little bit faster. And then as the storm is ending, we're just going to go side to side. Lift one side, and then to the other side. Always leading with the tops of the hands, or back of the hand, I should say. Inhale one direction, exhale the other direction. And then imagining that our storm is blowing the other way, we're going to circle the other direction. So if we were circling counterclockwise, then we'll circle clockwise now. Very nice. And then coming back to that side to side motion to finish. Inhale one direction, exhale the other direction. Very good. And let's release. Nice work. Okay. We are going to come down to the mat for our next section. So let's come to a seated position. I'm going to come to staff pose first, so straightening the legs, placing another mat or a blanket underneath our knees if we need it here. So we can try to sit nice and tall, hugging the navel in, strong through the core here, even in this pose, reaching through the crown of the head. shoulders back like we're trying to squeeze a pencil between our shoulder blades. All right, let's bring our hands behind us. Fingers are going to point toward the heels. Let's open the chest for sunbather pose. Chin can come up a little bit more. Again, as before, toward the beginning of class, we don't want to bring our neck back too far that we're creating wrinkles on the back of the neck. Option here for incline plank. So the way we do that is we make sure that our hands are directly underneath the shoulders, and we're going to try to lift the hips here. So pressing into the heels, doesn't have to be much. Lifting into the hips, trying to straighten that front body. One more breath. And down. Option here also for reverse tabletop. This one may be harder or easier than incline plank. So if you'd like to go to incline plank, you can do that. Otherwise, you can try the reverse tabletop, which is to place the feet flat on the mat and then lifting the hips, opening. Again, bringing the chin back a little bit more, but not creating a lot of tension in the back of the neck. This may be too much for the shoulders. If so, then drop the hips down. And release, exhale. Nice work. Okay, we're going to work boat pose from here. So maybe scooching forward just a little bit, coming back slightly, making sure that we're not sitting on our tailbone. We're still on sit bones here. Lifting the heels up off the mat and holding our legs with our arms, our fingers underneath. And if we're confident in our core strength here to be able to manage this, you can release the hands, trying to keep the shins parallel to the mat. That way we won't roll over onto our tailbone. Breathe. And release. All right, we're going to come to lying all the way down onto our back, feet flat on the mat, constructive rest. Let's interlace our fingers behind our head. Elbows out to the sides. And we're going to work some little curl-ups here. So let's bring the elbows in, helping with the hands behind the neck, but not pulling real hard as we lift up. Curling up, keeping the lower body where it is, stable on the mat. Exhale, relax down. Inhale, lift. Curl it up and exhale down. A couple more times like this. Just holding for 2 to 3 seconds. One more time. And then down. All right, we're going to introduce a twist with this. So lifting up and then bringing the right elbow toward the left knee. So point it at that left knee. Move the other direction. Point the left elbow toward the right knee and exhale down. Maybe starting to feel the burn a little bit into your abs. I certainly am. Inhale, lift. Twist it. Hold, twist it, hold, and down. Being very mindful of the neck here, making sure that we're not twisting too far. Inhale, lift, hold, twist, and other direction, twist, and down. 2 more times. Inhale, lift, twist, twist, and down.
Exhale. Inhale, lift, twist, twist, and down. Very nice. All right, let's release the hands. We're going to come onto our side for some side leg lifts. You can lie down on top with your head on top of your arm if you like that, or if you have a blanket here, that's fine too. We're going to start with some, we call these clamshells. We're going to open the knees and hold for a moment. So just like a clamshell, it's going to open up and down. Inhale, lift, and down. Lift, and down. One more time, lift, and down. You'll feel that up here toward the hip. All right, let's straighten the legs. We're going to do a full side leg lift, keeping the hips level where they are. So we're not going to open them out like this. We're going to keep them stacked. Lift the leg, that top leg, hold, squeeze into the glute, and down. Lift, squeeze, and down. Lift, and down. All right, let's roll over to the other side. I'm going to switch ends of my mat so you can see me a bit better. And we're going to repeat those clamshells first on the other side. So lift and open when you're ready. And down. Open. And down. Move with your breath. One more time. All right, and then extending those legs long. Stacking the feet, stacking the hips before we open. And lift that top leg, hold. And down slowly. One more time. And down. Nice work. All right, we're going to roll back onto our back once more. All right, we're going to work some leg lifts here. So we're just going to do one at a time, but we're going to try for the whole leg. If we can't, that's fine. So we'll start by placing the hands down on the mat so we have a good base, lifting one knee, and then straightening if we like, and then trying to drive down with that heel slowly. If we can work the whole leg just by itself, that's good. Otherwise, just with the bent knee is fine. Lifting, hold, and drive down with that heel. Lift, and down. And the last time we're going to lift and we're going to bring our hands behind our leg, behind our thigh here, and hold for a little stretch. And then slowly letting that leg come down. Let's inhale and lift the other leg, reach, and down slowly. Lift, and down. Finding that range of motion. Where's our range of motion? And then last time lifting, and let's hold behind the thigh again. And release. Let's bring our feet flat to the mat for constructive rest and just rocking the knees back and forth now. Good lower back massage with this.
And then let the knees fall over to one side for a twist. Look in the other direction perhaps. Bringing the hands out to the sides, if that helps with the stability. Another trick I learned is to hook that hook the ankle over the other knee if you want to extend the twist a little bit more. Feel that more into the side of this top leg. But again, only if we want to. Knowing that we can modify any pose, make it more challenging for us, make it a little easier if we need, or to work with our range of motion. It's always an option in yoga. All right, let's come to the other side. Those legs slowly letting them fall over, and then taking that hook on this side if we need. All right, let's release. Come back to the center. Let's bring our legs long, bring our arms long above our head as well. One long line like we did when we were lying on our stomach. Reach. Breathe into the chest. Press with the heels, flexing the feet back. Very good. We're going to set up now for Shavasana. So let's bring our hands out to the sides, palm up. Bring the legs out a little further if we want to. Or sit in constructive rest, or any other pose that's going to work for us here to start our Shavasana. Working back to our breath, finding we're coming back to our body's natural rhythm. Noticing all the cycles of our breath, of our heart rate, coming back to normal, reducing that heat from our practice a little bit, dissipating it into the air, into the earth. Feeling very supported by the earth in whatever pose we're in. Thinking that about that sense of exploring and playfulness that we tried to cultivate in this class. Thinking about how we can extend that curiosity into the rest of our life. What things can we explore? What things can we have fun with? Maybe things that we haven't thought about in a while. Maybe just for an example, maybe our hiking boots are out in the garage and they've been out there for a long time. And maybe we want to pick those up again and explore. Maybe we have a forgotten hobby or exercise that we want to try. It could be as simple as trying a new board game or getting that puzzle out that has been sitting on the shelf for years. Whatever it is, knowing that we don't have to be completely serious through our day, that we can explore and think out of the box and bring some fun. Even if it's just lightening the mood during a work meeting. Joking with our colleagues or joking with our neighbors and socializing. Whatever we can do to bring some lightness, some fun into our life and the lives of others. Let's think about that for a moment as we return to our breath and our body. And now starting our progressive relaxation from the crown of our head, working all the way down, releasing the wrinkles out of the forehead, softening the gaze, softening the jaw, opening the shoulders, opening the chest, releasing the stomach. And then slowly spreading that relaxation out through our limbs, through our arms, our elbows, down to our wrists, hands, and fingers. Down through our legs, knees, feet, and each toe. One more big deep breath to release any remaining tension in the body, releasing any remaining stress. Then when we're ready, starting some movement again, maybe in the shoulders, maybe in the extremities, moving the fingers and toes if we like. And then when we feel ready, moving over to our side, hugging our knees into our chest. Big exhale. Carrying with us into our life after practice, things that we have learned about our body, things that we have considered and meditated, thought about during this practice, trying to seal those things in so we can take them with us. When we're ready, let's slowly come to a seated position, hands on top of the knees. We'll finish with a couple of good breaths together. Inhale, exhale. And we'll chant Om one time. Let's take a big inhale, exhale, chant Om. Breathe. Thank you so much for joining me today. Really appreciate you coming. I will be back with live classes next week. Guys class on Wednesday at 9 a.m. in the studio, and then Energy Flow Yoga back here next Saturday, 9 a.m. Namaste. Take good care. See you soon. Have fun.